This is A-Game, fast-acting, long-lasting, with no side effects.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I am your host, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. And what we're talking about today is why modern women never get cheated on. They never get cheated on. Now, most of y'all will be like, they get cheated on every day. Kirsten, what you talking about? Women always complaining about how men are cheating on them, how men were with this woman, that woman, you know, talking to this girl, that girl, and all of this sort of thing. They cheat all the time. What are you talking about? I say that modern women have never been cheated on. They never get cheated on. They've never been cheated on, because cheating, aka adultery, is reserved for marriage and its sanctity. When we talk about a monogamous marriage, that would be adultery. If you've never been married, or you were not married to the man that simply went about his business to exercise his options, you've never been cheated on, beloved. Let's take a look at the definition for cheating and the definition for adultery. First, we're going to take a look at cheating. Cheat. To act dishonestly or fairly or unfairly in order to gain an advantage, especially in a game or examination. That one doesn't quite fit. Also, to be sexually unfaithful. Now, people would say, aha, but that says sexually unfaithful. But faithfulness and fidelity would be synonymous with there were rules, or there were vows taken, promises made officially that they wouldn't do that. And not just saying, baby, I would never cheat on you. Not that. I mean, claimed as a wife. Because if you take a look, the synonyms are commit adultery. Okay? Let's take a look at the definition for adultery. Adultery. Voluntary sexual intercourse between a married person and a person who is not his or her spouse. Synonyms: unfaithfulness, infidelity, disloyalty, cuckoldry, an entanglement, okay, a liaison, an affair. All right. So cheating is synonymous with adultery. Adultery only can occur when there was a breaking of the vow of marriage in the sexual arena. So y'all ain't never been cheated on. I know that's gonna ruffle some feathers. Some feathers, some pigeon feathers is ruffled today. Some hyena fur is scruffled today. But that's all right. Boyfriends and hookups and even long-term shacking up does not count. Cannot cheat on a woman he has not claimed in matrimony. See, when y'all make these little arguments about the differences between a boyfriend and a husband, what you never count on is that those arguments get flipped over to the other side so you don't benefit from it. So y'all like to make arguments that's one-sided where you get to benefit from it. And even if it's illogical, you trying to cast yourself in a better light. You know, y'all are these modern women out here are talking about don't give the same thing to a boyfriend that you would a husband and all of this other sort of stuff. And they're trying to use it as an excuse to be just these ratchet individuals in these so-called relationships, and they're able to do whatever they want to do without the restraint of, well, you're not my husband. She want to be able to lean back on, well, I don't have to do what you say because you're not my husband. I don't have to cooperate with you because you're not my husband. I'm supposed to only submit to my husband. And since you're not him, then I'm not obligated to do any of these things that you would expect of a woman or of a wife to do. Well, that shoe goes on the other foot. And I've mentioned this before, but in this video, I'm going a little bit further in depth with that concept, right? Since femininity can't be given to any man without a commitment, you should have maybe thought as much about your heart and your feelings, because I know it's going to be women listening to me that's going to be like, well, I was in a relationship with a man for 10 years, you know what I'm saying? And he cheated on me or whatever. So how you going to say that it don't count? This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Maybe you should have thought about your heart, your feelings, and all of this before you got that far into a relationship with a man that wasn't giving you a commitment. Because you want loyalty and fidelity from a man that never made no vow to that. Before God, before the justice of the peace, before the state judge, before nobody. He never said that in front of nobody. He never stood face to face, you, him, and God, or you, him, and the preacher, or you, him, and the judge, and nothing else, to say, I make vow of monogamy, and I vow only to be with this woman sexually and in all these other aspects. You the one stepped into it for a decade without that type of commitment. That was on you. You gave to a boyfriend what you should have gave to a husband. Boop. Boop, boop, boop. See, these little goofball arguments y'all trying to make up as an excuse for not being proper women. These are stupid excuses. And I'm just showing you how stupid it is. Because I know a bunch of folks gonna get in their feelings about, I was cheated on. What you talking about? And that hurt me. You may have got hurt, but whose fault was that? The only women who have ever been cheated on were married women. Married men get cheated on. Jada cheated on Will. Why? Because she's married to Will. So it's possible to cheat on him. There's a possibility for that. I don't want to hear about that open marriage that they just admitted. My point is that there must be a matrimony somewhere in order for there to be adultery somewhere. And y'all are not getting it. Y'all modern women don't want to be married. Y'all don't like being married. Y'all like weddings, but y'all don't actually like being married. So you thought and bop and you had these little relationships that you are so-called investing yourself in, but these men are not giving you any commitments. And you just spinning your wheels, not even really knowing why, and then quote-unquote get cheated on. And then that ends the relationship. But the reality is you're wanting loyalty outside the confines of a marriage, which he actually never owes you. It doesn't matter how long you were together or even how long you were living together. You've never been cheated on. All he did was go about his business. Because without that matrimonial commitment, he always was free to indulge in other women besides you. He was always free to walk away. He was always able to just roll out. He didn't make a vow to you. He made no vow in front of nobody. Him talking about he ain't gonna text that girl no more as he give you back shots is not a vow. Beloved, it's not a vow. Okay? And y'all be trying to get around this stuff by having babies, by staying in relationships you know are doomed to fail, and all this other sort of stuff, just so you can say, well, he treated me wrong and I gave my all. But you gave your all in a situation that was stupid. And y'all can be confused about this, But the fact of the matter is, modern women actually understand this concept when it comes time for y'all to relinquish control in a relationship. Now you know the difference between husband and boyfriend. I don't care if you are living together. Now y'all know the difference. When it comes time to submit and do what he say, now you know the difference. When it comes time to put your money in his hands so he can manage it, now you know the difference. When it comes time for him wanting all of these wifely things for you, good treatment, plates made, you know what I'm saying? Catering and all this type of stuff. Now you able to talk about what kind of relationship you got, and you able to draw it down the line and say, hey, you know, this got stipulations. I'm on girlfriend duty, not wife duty. It's certain stuff you're not going to get because I'm not a wife. So you automatically understand the differences. I don't care how long you've been together. If you can look and not have a ring, or you can't think back to any form of ceremony. I don't care if that was a spiritual marriage in a church or a masjid. I don't care if it was a ceremony that happened down at the courthouse. If you can't recall back to any point in time where you had any type of matrimonial ceremony happen to you, now you know very distinctly the difference between the boyfriend and the husband, when it benefits you, or when you're able to use it as an excuse not to be a woman, not to actually fulfill your role. Now you understand what role you should have and what role you shouldn't have. But when it comes to him, there is no difference. He's supposed to treat each one of y'all like a wife. Like any one of you modern women that get into any type of relationship, no matter what, he's supposed to have this level of respect for you like a wife, even if he never make you his wife. And y'all gotta knock that off. Ain't nobody got time for that. If he didn't wife you, you're not a wife. So therefore, you don't get the type of respect that wives get. And he don't owe you nothing that he owe a wife. Men need to start saying that. I'm on boyfriend duty, not husband duty. So I don't need to be giving you no money. I don't need to be paying stuff for you. I don't need to be buying stuff for you. That's what husbands do. Husbands is supposed to provide for their wives. Never said nothing about what a boyfriend is supposed to do for his little girl. So I'm free. Men need to actually start saying that. And then modern women will figure out how that works. Men need to literally start doing that. I would definitely advocate for them to be like, nope, I'm on boyfriend time, not husband duty. So I don't need to be trying to do nothing with your kids. I don't need to be trying to do nothing. I don't know why you looking to me to fulfill all of these things for you. And the first thing y'all say, well, you a man, you supposed to be doing stuff men do. Whatever. You supposed to be doing stuff women do, but you don't. And you justify that by saying, I don't have to do it for you because you're not my husband. Y'all be thinking that these men owe y'all something just because y'all lay with them and y'all might even live together and you dropped a baby. You doing all of this that you supposed to be doing for a husband. You doing all of that for a boyfriend, and then get mad when he's able to just exercise the right and the option to leave you where you stand. But you didn't make no commitment. That's why it ain't no process for him to leave, because it wasn't no process for him to get with you. It wasn't no process either way. And the thing that you don't ever think about is, if you're listening to this message and you getting triggered and butthurt about the relationship that you was in for 12 years without no marriage and how he cheated on you the whole time, maybe you shouldn't have got that far down into a relationship without a commitment. Why did you let yourself keep walking down that path? After a year, after 2 years, after it should have been clear to you that he wasn't going to marry you, despite anything that he said out his mouth. Especially after 2, working on 3 years, a man still ain't marry you, he not going to. That's the reality. If after 2 or 3 years of courting and being together and doing all that stuff, and he still ain't thinking about talking about no marriage, girl, if you don't knock it off, he ain't trying to get married to you. You sitting around for the next 10 years talking about he said he was gonna marry me, girl. At this point, you the fool. He just seeing a fool bopping her head. That's all he doing, girl. You just sitting there a fool. Ain't nobody got time for that. Sound off in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.